Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the SmackDown Live Recap. I am your host, John Rocha, joined again this week, joined for the first time this week by the CEO of the Pro Wrestling Sheet over there, Ryan Satin. How are you, man?
I am doing good. Thank you for handling duties yesterday with Jay Washington.
Always fun when Jay gets to stop by, get that insider look of what it's like to be a wrestler in the ring.
Yeah, I had a thing pop up that I had to handle, so I apologize that I couldn't be here for the Raw recap, but let's be honest, Raw wasn't that great this week.
Okay.
Right?
I thought it wasn't as good as last week.
It was definitely not as good as last week.
But I still somewhat enjoyed most of it.
It was
That's what I would say.
A lot of hit and miss.
Okay, that's fair.
But SmackDown this week was way more enjoyable. I think SmackDown was almost reminiscent of Raw last week, where lots of stuff went down that I was pumped about, lots of cool things that I was interested in. I was pumped on SmackDown last night.
Jay's under the impression that, I need you to correct this because you run the site, you got the inside sources.
Okay.
Jay's under the impression that Bischoff and Heyman have not fully taken over yet. They haven't yet.
Well, it's different,
because we felt like the headline last week was Heyman inspired.
Like I was telling you last week, it's very much like Heyman's there. Heyman's been there.
Right.
But no, he's not like I reported at the time, and like I said it last week too.
They're both VPs in essence.
Well, no,
right?
but what I said last week and what I reported as well is that it's gonna be a slow process. It was never gonna be okay, Bischoff and Heyman are here, now they're in charge of everything type thing. Heyman had a lot of influence on Raw last week, a lot of it, and I think he had influence this week as well. But he definitely had influence last week, but it wasn't. He was in charge already.
Right,
you know what I
right.
mean? It's gonna be slowly assimilate into it, like I had said.
Okay.
And same for SmackDown. I think with Bischoff, he's been much further away, so it's going to take him a little bit longer to assimilate back into the vibe of things, to get his bearings in and stuff. So no, it's not. It's still, and like I said, it's all going to be still filtered through Vince.
Yeah, I get. Yeah, but this felt to me like old WCW days, and we'll talk about.
No, this was not Bischoff.
I'm just saying, it felt to me a little bit like it, having seen the Bischoff days in the '90s and the whole thing with Russo and this felt very like a lot of shoot stuff. Supposedly in storylines.
Okay.
So that's what I want to get your thoughts on it, and of course talk about it a little bit. But let's start this thing off right off the bat. We're in the parking lot. Ziggler shows up, getting interviewed. In the middle of his interview, when he's just talking about I carry this. I don't know what he's talking about. How he carried the the brand on his back and whatever. I mean, it was maybe for 2 or 3 months. But then Owens shows up, honks really loudly, interrupts him. They actually get into a physical brawl. They'll get separated. Although the clue was when the wrestlers were showing up behind them, you knew they were going to jump in at some point to interrupt something, because they kept observers are coming in the middle like that. But they come in, they get into it, they get separated, and then Shane ends up canceling the main event, which was supposed to be Kevin Owens versus Ziggler, as a result of their actions. Apparently, when Shane does it, it's okay, but when anybody else does it, it's not okay.
Yeah.
How did you think of this? What did you think of this intro?
I liked it. I thought it was when they do. I like when they do something different. I like when it's not the normal thing we see. And I don't think we normally start the show off with something that happened in the parking lot earlier today.
This is what I mean. We haven't in a very long time.
It's been a minute.
In the 90s, it happened all the time. In the 90s, they did that. Both WCW and WWE did stuff in the parking lot to lead into a show.
Well, what's old is new.
Yeah,
always,
yeah.
That's how it goes. So I liked it. I thought that it made... this whole episode did a lot for Kevin Owens.
Yeah,
I
agree.
And this was a good start to it. I thought that he showed good fire here.
Yep.
That he, if he's gonna be the anti-hero thing that everyone's been wanting to see of a Kevin Owens, this was a good way to kind of get it going, to kind of start the anti-authority angle with Kevin Owens. Because to be honest with you, Roman Reigns is too nice and he's too part of the hierarchy of WWE to genuinely feel like the anti-hero.
Like Austin did.
Like Austin did.
Austin was out of the mainstream.
Austin hated the bosses, but it's kind of hard to believe that Roman Reigns hates the bosses when they're so good to him, you know? And granted, you could say the same thing about Austin at a certain point when he blew the fuck up and it was just Austin was clearly the face of the company, but the boss was still mad about it. But at least in that, they played it well, where you knew they had this this relationship of Vince couldn't fire his top guy for real.
Yeah.
So instead, he's going to make his life a living hell. I don't feel like they've gotten that over enough with the Roman Reigns storyline with Shane.
Okay.
But with someone like Kevin Owens, who truly has felt overlooked, who truly has not been given everything that maybe fans would like to have seen, who, you heard that interview with him on Lillian Garcia's podcast a few weeks ago where he straight up said, like, he's been having trouble finding his place the past couple of years and figuring out his role in the company. So if he's going to be, an anti-hero, if he's going to be the anti-authority, I think it's way more of a believable situation than Roman Reigns, and I think that that's why all this played so well last night.
I think you make a fantastic point, Ryan, because you're right. With Roman's a legacy. Like his cousins, his uncles, his nephews, like everybody's involved through generations in the WWE. So he doesn't really, he can't be anti-establishment when he's essentially part of the establishment, right?
Absolutely.
With Kevin Owens, just like with Austin, this is someone who doesn't have that kind of stuff, and someone who came into the WWE having been stepped on by the WCW, having been disenfranchised, having not been believed in. So it makes sense because when
also earmarked as the future by a lot of people.
Right, but not
given that in the company that he was in.
Exactly. For every franchise Shane Douglas, there's a Steve Austin, right? And that kind of stuff happens. And so Kevin Owens makes sense because all of us who love Kevin Owens and love him being on the show, we've all been frustrated, like he is, that he can't find his place. They can't give him that run that really sets him over like Becky had. Like run out of nowhere, put in a boom, explosion, right? And this is an interesting way to go about it. Certainly interesting beginning, and we'll see later when he drops that pipe bomb right after the break. Well, we should just get into it.
I have more I want to say.
Right after the break, he jumps into a pipe bomb, grabs the mic. This is where it felt like old Russo, Bishop, old Hogan, and not Mr. Perfect. Who am I talking about?
See, I feel like it felt way more Stone Cold Steve Austin than any of those things.
Well, it felt just like Jeff Jarrett and Hogan were talking out.
No,
like Austin
that was
did.
stupid.
All right, fine. But
I get what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying?
But that was
grabbing the mic.
Shoot.
And
this is much more Stone Cold anti-authority than a work shoot where they're saying the top guy in the company is an asshole.
Right. That's a fair point. But I didn't see Vince ever try to kill Stone Cold's mic. I didn't see him ever try to cut the mic. I tried to take it out. So I liked it. But I liked it. You saw him cut the mic? I never saw him cut the mic.
Or they cut the mic on CM Punk or...
On Punk they did. Yeah.
No, that's much more. It's not a WCW thing. I know what you're trying to do here, but I really don't think it's a WCW trope here that they were going on.
Well, I'm just saying, a little bit of action maybe. Who knows?
I really don't think that's what's going on
Either way, I loved it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, I think that...
I was really surprised by the things he was able to say.
Me too.
Because Shane looked like he was legitimately upset.
Well, here's the thing, which
was brilliant.
To go back to the thing we were just speaking about with the believability factor with the Roman Reigns thing, to me, Kevin Owens is like a wrestler. He looked, I shouldn't say looks like a wrestling fan. He is a wrestling fan. He watched wrestling his whole entire life. He knows what the wrestling fan wants, I think, to a certain degree. And I feel like, we on here, and I'm sure millions of other podcasts related to wrestling have also the same thing, that like the amount of TV time they have dedicated to Shane McMahon over the past 6 months, let's say, even longer, has been asinine. Like I think Shane's been growing into the character, and I think actually the past few, I'd say like month and a half, past few weeks, he has kind of slowly come into the character a little bit more, and it's starting to feel a little more natural. But Kevin Owens is right. There's not one person who's 6 or 7 months ago now, when the McMahon family came out and said Raw has sucked, and I realized it was a storyline thing, but when they came out here and they came out and said Raw has sucked, we're gonna change, nobody wanted more Shane McMahon. Nobody. Absolutely nobody. So, and we have said that so many times.
And we're not the only ones saying
That's what I'm saying.
Certainly.
So for him to come out there and say that it was good, I think that it rings more true than if like the authority had come out again and been like, we're sorry, now Shane is the one who sucked, we're gonna change it. It wouldn't feel true. And this is one of those situations where it does blend reality and fiction. And I love that. I think that they did such a good job of that. Like you said, Shane played his well perfectly here. Coming out, cutting off the mic, and then Kevin Owens just going and grabbing one of the other mics, and then going to the announcer headset. I loved all that. I thought that it made Kevin Owens look smart. It made him look like a badass. Those are all things that are important. Kevin Owens can be one of the top guys in the company. You just got to do the right thing with him. And being the anti-authority, anti-hero type is 100% his strong suit. Just like it's silly to not have the club formed in WWE, it's silly to not have Kevin Owens playing an anti-hero.
Yeah.
He
Agreed.
plays it so well.
He does play it so well. It's certainly in his wheelhouse. And it was fun to watch this again last night. And hopefully they don't blow this one either and get him onto a nice run. I don't know where you go here. I mean, I guess he'll pair with Reigns against Shane and against McIntyre and against Elias. But maybe
that's the thing. I feel like they can't do that.
Okay.
He has to be a Stone Cold, like.
So then they have to finish this Roman Reigns storyline because he has to interrupt.
Well, I feel like it'll end in Extreme Rules, hopefully.
Okay.
I'm hoping. That's my hope.
Yeah.
So I feel like in order for Kevin Owens to feel genuine, he's got to be an anti-hero, anti-authority, anti-everybody, just like Stone Cold was. So that just like when Stone Cold used to stun people back in the day, he'd stun anyone.
Yeah.
He'd stun the good guys, he'd stun the bad guys. He didn't trust anybody.
But he's stunning people. Do you like that Owens is stunning people? That feels a little derivative. You've got your own move. Use your own goddamn move. I'm sorry. Use your own move. Sorry.
It's okay. We can say curse words on here.
I don't want to get Kevin mad at me. He's French.
That's a tough question.
Canadian.
I am kind of one of those people who believes that certain moves are sacrilegious.
Right.
I think the stunner is pretty sacrilegious for people to be using that. I know that we all grew up watching it. I know we all love it. I know it brings back such good memories. But for the same reason, I don't think people should be doing the rock bottom or the people's elbow. It's like, it's a thing.
Or the leg drop.
And, well, and that's what people are going to say.
The elbow drop
people
is fine.
People are going to say, you know, the leg drop became a move.
Yes.
Sweet chin music became a move. So why can't the others become a move? And I guess, but personally, if you're asking me personally,
those are out of the realm of normal moves.
Well, but he didn't
a kick
invent
to the face.
Stunner.
No.
He didn't invent the stunner. He popularized the stunner.
I don't know if he invented Okay.
He definitely didn't invent the stunner.
I never saw until I saw him do it.
He popularized the stunner, but he didn't invent the stunner.
That's fair.
You know, similarly to like
certainly the rock bottom wasn't anything new.
No,
right.
No. But I didn't like when Becky started using it.
Yeah, I didn't like it either.
And I don't like when Ricochet started doing his version of like the people's elbow, but like the people's moonsault thing. It just felt too like.
It felt like Billy Kidman.
Fair, but
that's
its own thing.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, like just do your own thing. You know, like I don't know. Maybe that's just me.
What's Kevin Owens' finishing move?
Isn't
that the power bomb?
The pop-up power bomb.
Yeah.
Which is cool.
Who's that?
It's a cool move.
Can he not use it because Reigns is using it right now? Is that what this
Reigns
is all about?
isn't using that.
Doesn't he use the power bomb every once in a while?
No, but he does the pop-up power bomb.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Which
different.
is basically the Undertaker's power bomb, just in a different way.
Kinda.
Lift power bomb. So.
Similar. But yeah, I wish I don't necessarily like people using other people's moves. Yeah, I don't. And you know, it's funny. My whole life, I always used to like look down on Sting. I'm just like, ugh. He stole Bret Hart's finishing move. And I was always kind of like, ugh. And then I found out it was his finishing move that Bret took.
Yep.
And I was like, oh man, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And then I feel bad. And this was like in my adult years.
It was the best there was, that's the best ever will be, and the best that stole things. So, you know, I mean, what are you going to say? And look, and I hate to break it to you, Sting is better than Bret Hart. All right, let's move on.
Whoa, wait, no.
Please.
You can't just drop
9 miles.
You can't
it's
just
not even a question.
You can't just drop a fucking fiery take like that and be like, okay, now we move on. Excuse me?
So much better. Are you insane?
1, excuse me. 2, how dare you?
Name one iconic feud with Bret Hart. One, other than Shawn Michaels.
Stone Cold.
No. It was one match.
What are you talking about?
It was one match where he passed out.
But it's an iconic feud between the two of them.
Had flair for his entire career. That was incredible.
Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart is just as legendary of a feud as Sting and Ric Flair.
No.
It changed the business. They're different eras. That is ridiculous.
It's ridiculous that you're saying it's the same thing.
What?
Oh my God.
You're crazy.
Bret Hart was champion during one of those boring eras of the WWE, and everybody knows it. So.
And Sting had these like.
Sting was fantastic in the WCW.
Oh, because Sting brought WCW to the top. He didn't. He didn't.
Flair. That was Flair and Sting.
Sting didn't bring anyone to the top. And then he went away for a fucking year because they didn't even like him in WCW.
Hart didn't bring anybody to the top. Hart just took over when it had already been started by Hogan.
Hart is considered one of the best wrestlers of all time.
All right.
People don't put Sting on that list.
What? People put Sting on one of the best wrestlers of all time?
Top 10?
Hell yes. You're insane. You're insane. All right, let's.
Yeah.
This is a great match. This is a great battle. This should be a separate thing.
I've tried.
Yeah, this should be a separate battle for the wrestling sheet.
Am I supposed to do it this weekend?
What? No. We're going to talk about that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oops.
That's behind the curtain stuff. All right, let's move on. Finn Balor took on Shinsuke Nakamura. Hey, remember Shinsuke Nakamura? Hey, remember Finn Balor?
I was going to say the same thing.
They got it, but I thought this was a really great match. It was awesome to see Shinsuke back again. I don't know how you wrestle in all that leather. I went through an NJPW wormhole over the weekend for July 4th. I sent to Ryan this great Ringer article breaking down this rivalry in NJPW, and then I just started watching matches, much to my girlfriend's chagrin. But she got to watch a British television, so what did I care? I got to watch this a little more, and I
Did you watch their match this weekend?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Think about it.
That was
Yeah, great match.
Dude.
Yeah, great show.
Fantastic. Yes, great show. Agreed. So you look at this, this was fun to see again, but Shinsuke wins. So what's this mean?
It's got to mean what I was saying, right?
The club.
Because for a minute, I thought that it was for the title.
Yeah.
And I was like,
I thought it was for the title as well.
Okay, so I'm glad it wasn't just me.
And then all of a sudden they go, and Shinsuke wins. And you're like, wait, what? Where's the belt? Doesn't he walk away with the belt? Why let him fight if it's not for the belt?
I'm glad that wasn't.
What's the fucking point?
I'm so glad that wasn't just me who thought that, because I literally went, I was right.
Yeah.
And then they were like, oh, Shinsuke just pinned their Intercontinental champion. And I went, oh, damn, I wasn't right. He didn't win the title yet. But to me, this feels like that has to be what they're building towards.
Yes.
What you got, AJ just, dragged the Good Brothers out of their rut, and now they're main eventing, and they're back, the club's back together, and they're running roughshod or whatever, and so I feel like him losing, him losing here has to be like the beginning of a rut for Finn Balor.
I agree.
Was off TV for a few weeks or whatever, then he comes back and he loses to someone else who's been off TV for a few weeks.
Yep.
Either that is some crazy short-sighted booking, or it's smart because they're going somewhere with it. And obviously those are the only two options. But still, my hope is that it's the latter, that this is to build up something more for Finn Balor.
I mean, you hope that's what they're setting up.
I really hope. I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah, of course it makes sense.
Although they are starting to have too many heels. They are starting to have a lot of heels that are like racking up. So I don't know if it's needed as much. But for Finn, yes. I meant more so not needed in the overall scheme of more heels, considering people love Finn Balor. But at the end of the day, in the long run, I think is the best option. And it's the only thing I could think of watching this. Yeah. I did like the match.
Yeah, I like the match too.
So many Kinshasas.
Oh my God, it was great. The one outside the ring was incredible. That was a great Kinshasa. Let's see what happens. I want Shinsuke to take that belt and come back into prominence and fight. Good God Almighty, fight. You want to talk about building up Kevin Owens? Build up Shinsuke. For God's sakes, the man is an artist. He's called the artist for a reason, because he is an artist in the ring. We have been lesser fans for not having seen him consistently on TV doing his best work on pay-per-views or whatever. I don't know if he was injured. I don't know if it's a storyline situation. I don't know what it is. Or, it's just his turn to take a break in the rotation. I don't know. But God damn it, get him back on the screen and get him into a good rivalry, because this man is incredible wrestling.
He seemed energized too.
That's what I enjoyed about it too. He seemed really into it.
Yeah.
But that's something we talked about a couple weeks ago. Like, it seems like all the wrestlers are really into it. I don't really find a lot of people mailing it in much anymore. So
it's been pretty good the past couple weeks.
Right. Whether you like the storylines or not, whether the matches work for you or not, the commitment of the wrestlers, I don't think you can call into question over the last few weeks.
I agree with you. Very much so.
Yeah, I like that. Let's go backstage. I'm gonna throw in the backstage stuff as it goes along. But let's go backstage to the big one here, which is we finally get the answer for Aleister Black. It is Cesaro, who walks in a nice bright suit, which I thought was a nice balance to the all black.
After strolling his crotch across the screen multiple times.
Weird. And his deft hand touching the chair.
Yeah, as Aleister Black is sitting there.
Oh, my disembodied head wants to know what is happening here. But they have a back and forth here between them. The fans didn't explode at the news that it's Cesaro, and for this build-up to be Cesaro was a little bit of a letdown, even though you've said many times before that you like Cesaro, you want him to get a run. I don't know if this is the way to start the run, because he's going to have to lose to Aleister.
That's how I looked at it. Yeah. I felt like he's been doing his own thing on Raw. I don't really understand the point of putting him in this feud. Just like the Bray Wyatt thing, it would have been tough because they both need the win because they're getting rebuilt right now. They're building up their characters, you know? Yeah. I don't feel like this segment really did either of them any favors. I felt like
a bit of a letdown.
Like a little bit of a letdown. As much as I like Cesaro, the way it was like built up, like it was going to be a big deal, and it's like Cesaro's not a big deal at this point. Like I love Cesaro; he's one of my favorite wrestlers,
of course.
But I don't know if like the reveal of him was something that people are oh crap, where's he been or something like that. We've seen what he's been doing,
Well, if Aleister's a face now, right? He would be because Cesaro's not a.
That's the other thing that was confusing about it is that they've kind of been angling this as him being a heel.
Yeah.
Even though like he wasn't a heel before. The way they've been playing this whole thing up was kind of heelish.
Yeah.
And I don't think Cesaro is someone who's going to get. He's also a heel, so he's not going to get this big pop. Like, oh, Cesaro's going after him. It was like, oh, Cesaro's going after him. So it's two heels going up against each other.
Yeah.
I also think, I like Cesaro a lot, but his aesthetic was a little, I don't know. It wasn't like the undershirt with the blazer and then also the mouthpiece. It was like, what look is he going for here? I was a little confused with that too. But the match is going to be dope. Like,
yeah, sure.
Both of these guys are great wrestlers, and the idea of Cesaro and Aleister Black in a match does sound awesome to me.
Yeah.
Regardless of all the other stuff I just said. I think the real thing going on here is that I believe that Heyman is involved in things, obviously, and I think these are two Heyman guys.
Oh, okay.
So I'm guessing that it was something along the lines of like he's like I can make something work with these two guys, and they're kind of letting him roll with it. That's what I think is going on here. Because Cesaro's a Heyman guy. We saw it on TV for a while, so I'm sure the Mad Genius has something planned out. So I'm holding out. I'm reserving judgment in the end, but I felt like this reveal was a little bit of a miss, especially because they said he's not going to reveal himself now.
Yeah, and then he shows up,
and then he just started doing like Ring Around the Rosie around the or not Ring Around the Rosie, where he was doing like the musical chairs, where he was like walking around in circles around the chair, and then he sat down on it. It was like weird.
That was weird.
I don't know. Yeah, I'm excited for the match, but I didn't love the reveal.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think the match will be fine. The program itself doesn't excite me. We'll see what happens and where it goes, right? Maybe, we weren't that excited about Sheamus versus Cesaro. That turned out to be a great thing. So
or the 24/7 title.
Oh, right, or the 24/7 title most recently, certainly. All right, let's move on here to Nikki Cross and Bayley having this contract signing. Once again, really good back and forth. I think Nikki really owned the segment. I was very surprised by this. I thought she gave as good as she got, and even there were moments where you really did feel like you don't need Alexa. And I wonder what the logic is here. If this was logically done, obviously it's purposely done, but what was the logic here to remove Alexa from this program? Was it to let Nikki kind of spread her wings and do her stuff and kind of see if she could stand on her own in a in a spotlight situation?
I would say a little bit of that, and also a little bit of this will help when Alexa doesn't actually allow Nikki to be the co-champion.
Right.
And then it's like, Nikki's sad, but I did all of this. It's like, well, no, can I hold the belt? No, you can't hold the belt. And I feel like that's where they're going to go with this, is that Nikki thought that she was going to be the co-champion.
Right.
And Alexa's, well, no, I'm actually the champion type thing, like, or something like that. Where she's
Nikki gets the pin to get the belt,
and then Alexa
takes the belt. Right.
And
let
Nikki
her have the
did
belt.
all of it. That's where I'm guessing they're going to go with it. I didn't love this segment. I feel like we've been far apart on this one, in general with this, because you do love Bayley and Alexa Bliss.
I love Bayley and Alexa, yeah.
I don't dislike them.
But I haven't liked the Nikki part of this program that much.
Fair.
I liked her better last night.
Okay, fair.
I thought she kind of grabbed the ball and ran with it a little bit more than she has before.
Fair. I didn't love all of this, but at least it helped to establish where they're going with it, because it does seem like that's where they're going to go with it. Bayley's going to lose the title, and then Sasha comes back, and we're going to get a tag team match between Alexa and Nikki versus Sasha and Bayley. That's my guess.
Yeah, that's what a lot of people were saying that yesterday. Yesterday, I guess, in reaction to the Raw stuff that happened. Like, it's like, you don't have a friend, you need a friend, you should get a friend, and everyone's like, oh. You
don't know what it's like to have a friend like I do.
All your friends abandoned you. So Sasha's coming back. But do you...
And she's on the poster now for SummerSlam.
Sasha is?
Amongst other superstars,
okay.
But yes.
Damn. All right, so we're going to see her, I guess, come back in some form, because it's the send-off show. She certainly didn't show up here. So I wonder what role she will play in the whole situation. And this could be very interesting because, right, does it go in the angle where they lose the belt and they fight over who holds the belt and whatever? Or does Sasha come down, help Bailey, and then Nikki sees Alexa trying to screw Nikki over to get the situation, and then, like, Nikki turns on her too. So we'll see.
Totally.
Certainly a lot of angles to play.
Yeah, absolutely. It does lend itself to a lot of things.
Yeah,
for that, I liked it.
Okay. All right, fair enough. But then Nikki tells Bailey to stick around to watch her match, and Carmella gets served up to Nikki, which was a little bit of a surprise that they let Carmella take the loss. But then again, a lot of ladies took losses to Carmella to build Carmella up. So this is her, like, giving back in the way they gave back to her. She loses no shine because she's got that 24/7 stuff going on. But Nikki, in a bit
not even remembered today or that loss.
Right, exactly.
Like, oh.
Yeah, nobody's like all upset about it. But Nikki ruthlessly looks at Bailey as the 1, 2, 3 gets counted. So this could blossom into a legitimate rivalry between these two.
I also felt like this was kind of helping to steer in the direction of like a heel Nikki, which could be better than this nice, happy-go-lucky person, the like friendly person we've been seeing.
I agree. The heel Nikki would be interesting.
Yeah, just it was shining out a little more here, I felt.
Yeah. When she says when it's time for Nikki to play, she has all the fun. You're like, remind me of some of my girlfriends when I was 20 years old. All right, Tag Team Summit here. Let's do this. Heavy Machinery, New Day, and Daniel Bryan and Rowan. It was a triple threat match here between Daniel Bryan. Who else was in this thing? I always forget who's in this thing.
It was Otis, Xavier Woods, and Daniel Bryan. Right?
They're going, but there were promos to begin the set. Everything. New Day came out, did their promo. Then Bryan and Rowan came out, and New Day made fun of Rowan, saying, "We don't know who your daddy is from week to week,"
which was great.
Ooh, that's a strong statement.
There's not a lot of times when I'm watching Raw and SmackDown, I audibly go like, "Oh, damn," and that was one of them. Where I'm like, "Oh, damn, you guys did him like that, damn."
Yeah, but Daniel also coming back saying, "You guys have never ridden above the mid card." You're like, "Oh." So I'm just saying, this is getting a harder edge to it lately over the last couple of weeks. The promos, I wonder where this is leading to, or who's making these decisions to make them go harder in promo. But
it's Vince McMahon.
All right, fair enough.
But whenever you wonder. The answer is Vince McMahon. If it's about to be who made this decision in WWE, it was Vince McMahon.
I wish I could do a thing like, I wonder who made it, and then Vince just popped. It was me.
Yeah, just picture that puppet from the Bray Wyatt things popping out. It was me. It was good shit.
With the horns on.
Yeah.
But then, Heavy Machinery comes out and does a nice promo for themselves as well. Otis and Tucker doing some great work there back and forth. I like that they didn't do this thing anymore.
Yes.
And
he did, when he did the, we're going to be the WWE Tag Team Champions, and did like the Xavier Woods, like, hip thing, and then he was like, "'Cause we're coming." And I was like, "Oh man, I love it. I love how overly sexual Otis is, and it's okay for some reason."
Yeah.
I love it. It's hilarious.
It feels innocent.
Yeah.
And fun. But I don't know what a blue collar party is. So I don't know if I'd want to go to a blue collar party.
I'd go.
You would?
Oh, yeah.
All right. It seems like a lot of gunplay.
Is Otis there?
Seems like a lot of gunplay would probably be involved in a blue collar party.
Is Otis there?
Probably. Otis is there.
There's going to be stakes there, so I'm down.
All right, fine. I'm not shooting squirrels in no dump. I'm not going to no blue collar party like that. I'll hang out and have beers. I'm down. Have some barbecue. I'm down.
You wouldn't do a little backyard shooting?
Nope. Put some country music on. I'm down to go. But I'm not shooting any varmints in the back of no damn backyard.
Not like little bottles.
No bottles. I did that already growing up in Southern Virginia. All right. So this triple threat match, I saw some people not liking this triple threat match. I didn't think it was a bad triple threat match.
I enjoyed this triple threat match.
I don't know what people were complaining about.
I love that they're making Otis a star. Like, they're making Otis. The fact that Otis is keeping his own, holding his own with Xavier Woods and Daniel Bryan, like, that's a big deal. I mean, those are two mainstays in WWE.
I'll be honest with you, and you might not like me saying this. I think Tucker should be worried. Because Otis is going to be a star. He does not need a tag team.
But I will say,
although Tucker's been doing nice work.
But I also think he's doing a good job of, like I said, of being like the straight man. Like, he's doing a really good job of, I feel like Otis, as much as I love him, is similar to me, all over the place. You know, like your mind's in a million places, and it's just like a explosion, you know? I think Tucker is like, we're like, can steer the ship, you know, and Otis can kind of hang on and do his thing when need be or whatever. But that's kind of like this show. I'd be like, where you lead things and keep us going, keep us on track or whatever. So I think Totis is good. Tucker is good in that regard. I think he is a very necessary component of the team. But you're right.
For now.
But you're right. In future reference, I do think that. However, Tucker's a really big dude.
Yes.
So,
but so is Cass.
True.
I mean, this to me has Enzo Cass written all over it.
Fair.
Because I feel like Enzo was a stand, obviously running the mic, whatever. And Cass did his thing, but big dudes who can't control the mic and can't be great on the mic consistently rarely get over. I mean, it's the
Tucker's good on the mic, though.
He's good on the mic. I just think the look of him isn't 100%. And we'll see.
Yeah, fair.
We'll see. And there's nothing wrong.
He seems like the type who can easily be repackaged, though, in a more serious way and be taken seriously.
Possibly.
Down the line when he's more over after this team.
It would be fun to see a Tucker versus Otis type of program maybe down the road. But Otis certainly the star here, getting the pin. They're giving him the shine, that's for sure.
And getting the pin was, I was like, man, good. And just in general, I mean, it was well worked, the match. It was believable when he won. Absolutely. I wasn't against any of it. I really liked this whole thing. I was off the radar yesterday from those days, so I didn't see SmackDown until late at night.
Okay.
So I didn't see a lot of the reaction. Did people people didn't like this match?
Yeah, some people were giving it like a bad issue or saying some complaints about it.
Don't complain about Otis and Daniel Bryan and Xavier Woods.
Exactly. I liked it.
There's better things to complain about.
Yeah, I enjoyed it overall. Thought it was a good match. And then we move on to another backstage stuff that was going on there between Paige and Kairi Sane. And
I'm glad you brought this up.
Yeah. Paige, Kairi Sane, and
Paige, Kairi Sane, Asuka.
Asuka. It's been so long since I've seen Asuka. I forget her name. Against the Iconics here, they come out laughing, and then they fake that they're sick. And then they have a back and forth. I don't know where Paige slaps poor Billy Kay, and they kind of, slink off while the two ladies there, Asuka and Kairi, are waiting and salivating, having beaten them in Japan 2 weeks ago, which they showed. So this is, and they actually spoke truth about. This is what I was thinking about last night, Ryan. A lot of people were speaking what things have been said on the internet for the most part.
I agree.
I wonder if that's WWE taking ownership of it and kind of turning it around.
I think so.
Okay, so that's basically because what Paige said, the overrated, underwhelming joke.
You want them by a fluke.
Call them clowns. Yeah. All that kind of stuff.
Okay, one, I cackled laughing when Peyton said she had mad cow disease.
Mad cow bird flu.
Yeah, mad cow flu. That's what she said.
Mad cow bird flu. It's very rare.
I was dying. I hadn't heard mad cow in so long.
Oh, yeah.
It's like such an old school thing that you don't hear talk. I remember the whole mad cow disease freak out. God, that was mid-90s, something like that, late 90s.
I remember Boston Legal using it. Shatner's character constantly said he had mad cow, which is why he did crazy things on the show.
Yeah, I remember that was like a thing for a while. It's not a thing that's used anymore.
Like the bird flu was for a while. Avian flu or whatever.
Totally. That's why it took me back. I was like, that's good. That was good.
SARS is next.
Yeah. A few weeks ago, we were talking about the Kabuki Warriors before they even had the name, and I was saying one of my complaints was like they didn't feel like a team as much. Mm-hmm. I don't know what changed, but last night they actually in this promo they felt like a team.
Even though they didn't say a word.
What?
Even though they didn't say a word.
Yeah, not even necessarily.
More so I agree with you.
I'm saying Asuka and Kairi.
Right.
Like all three.
Yes.
They just it just didn't match.
Yep.
But I think, and it might be the most minor thing, but sometimes those are the most important. The pink leather jacket. The fact that she had a pink leather jacket to match their pink attire of their shirts or whatever, I was like, oh, she's their manager. You know, like that's not just Paige hanging out with Asuka and Kairi. She's now their manager. Like Jimmy Hart. When Jimmy Hart would have like the jacket that matched his client. That's kind of how it felt to me. I was like, managers should be part of the team.
Those jackets were the best.
I know. But the managers should be part of the team.
Yeah.
You know, so for some reason, even her slapping Billy Kay, like to me, I felt like Paige cares about this team.
Yeah.
Paige is their manager.
Yeah.
She wants to fight for these guys.
Mm-hmm.
And as short and quick as this segment was, to me, it did a really good job for the team. It helped sell the Japan thing.
Thoroughly agree.
And the upcoming title match. So I like it.
Do you think it'll end up with them having the title down the road here?
I think so.
Yeah?
I think
it seems like the logical way to go, doesn't it?
I think so.
Okay.
But I keep thinking, my problem is I feel like Sasha Banks has to factor into the tag team title scene somehow.
Okay.
But maybe not. Maybe they just, the Kabuki Warriors win, and then once Bailey and Sasha are back together, we get the Kabuki Warriors against Sasha and Bailey.
And I also think you need to kind of work Sasha back on television. A lot of fans are mad about what happened with Sasha, and she, I love Sasha to pieces. I will always forgive her. I will. I'm a mark for her until the end of time.
Here's my thing about that. You'd probably do the same fucking thing if you were in her position.
Yeah, probably.
You know? So like
a lot of people are complaining about it. And I'm just saying.
I know, but I'm the one who like put that out there, and even me, I feel like people think that I look negatively on it. I understand. She was fucking frustrated. You know, it wasn't a thing where she was putting down the Iconics or anything like that. It was about her and Bailey and what they felt, and I get that. Like, dude, people act out in wrestling all the time. We saw Joey Janela and fucking Enzo fight at a Blink-182 concert. You know, like these things happen in wrestling. There's no reason for anyone to be mad at Sasha for wanting more in her career.
Right.
You know, like I never used the word tantrum. That was what other people look at it as. And even if it was, so what?
Yeah.
Like, you know how many times Hulk Hogan threw a fucking tantrum backstage?
Stone Cold's left. He left shows when they told him what they were going to do with him, and he
not losing to that person, not showing up to work today.
Yep. Hogan did that all the time. Flair did it all the time.
The legends do that kind of stuff.
Because they have cachet. They have cachet to do that.
Like, I think it's so silly to forgive her for. If anything, you should be like, good. You care about your career. Good job.
Yeah.
That's how I look at it.
You want to get the best. You want to be the best, and there's nothing wrong with believing in yourself.
Yeah.
Part of believing in yourself sometimes is making people respect you or not being part of a situation where you don't feel respected.
And if you're not being respected, you remove yourself from the situation.
Exactly. You know, for every company man, there are people who want to kind of shine in a different way.
Yes.
You know, and both ways can lead you to the top. Look at Kofi as a company man taking all the kind of crap he's taken for years. Look at the benefit, but there are other people who kind of move their way through in a different way and are title holders for a long time. So there's no one right way to do it. That's for damn sure. Let's go backstage again, and this time with Kofi Kingston and Samoa Joe. What did you think of their promos?
I actually like this promo a lot. I think that, well, both promos. I liked Kofi's promo because Kofi really is starting to get out of that, like, hey, look at, I won the title at WrestleMania mode. He's past it finally, and I'm so happy for it because his confidence is at an all-time high.
It really is.
You can see it in his promos, like he's feeling himself. And I do worry that he was a little storyline-wise, not in real life-wise. I worry that his confidence is going to come back to bite him in storyline terms, and we're going to see Papa Joe at his house doing things to all the people he loves and doing really dastardly things to his family because Joe loves to do that kind of thing. And we'll see Kofi get to his breaking point. I hope that's where they go with this. You know, I do believe that the debut on Fox, it's been my prediction all along that I think Brock Lesnar is going to cash in on the debut episode on Fox.
And beat Kofi?
Oof. This could keep Kofi busy for the next few months.
Or if you really want to put him over, Lesnar cashes in and Kofi still wins. That would really put Kofi over.
I mean, in my mind, in my business mind, I'm not thinking about it in terms of putting Kofi over. I'm thinking about it in terms of like the biggest possible stuff for Fox. And I feel like they're going to try and get a Ronda appearance to like at least cut a promo, first one since WrestleMania. And I feel like Brock cashes in, and then you have Brock on Fox for the first few months of the show feuding with Kofi.
Did you think
Kofi's trying to get the title until whatever.
Sense. Get it
finally
back?
gets it back. Maybe WrestleMania. Kofi versus
Kofi versus Brock
at WrestleMania.
Woo-hoo-hoo. That's an interesting thing.
I know, this is just what I would do if I was in charge. This is how I look at it. And not even how I like it. It seems not. It doesn't seem entirely out of the realm of possibility.
Of course it doesn't. No. Especially where we're at timing-wise in the year and with
the way they've been putting Kofi over.
Yep. Against really good competition.
Yes.
So you can't argue that at all. All right, we end the night with a final five.
And Samoa Joe's promo was awesome too.
Samoa Joe's promo was great.
Yeah, I liked his serious demeanor. Like he seemed like scary dude. Scary dude. Like you want to mess with that guy.
I dig it. Roman Reigns took on Dolph Ziggler. Earlier in the night, Ziggler had been told by Shane McMahon with McIntyre standing there and Elias that if he wants to get in his good graces or get back in the fold here, you will be in the main event. You'll fight Roman Reigns now, and we'll be there to back you up. The match happens. Certainly a good match between the both of them. Not a great match because it's kind of a shorter match than you expected.
But good near falls that I believed in stuff because I wasn't looking at the time.
Absolutely. But certainly Shane and them get all involved in the situation. Eventually, Kevin Owens comes out to mess with stuff. And Ziggler looks like he might get the victory.
Well, no.
The zigzag, wasn't it?
Owens came out after the match.
Oh, sorry, after the match. So
they pulled Ziggler out of the ring, right?
Right.
And then the match was no contest, wasn't it?
Well, eventually, Reigns did defeat Ziggler. He pinned him.
Yeah, they pulled him out, and then he went back in.
Right.
Wait, was it in the match?
Yeah.
Oh, you're right. It wasn't after the match. You're right.
Yeah, it was in the match.
My apologies.
No worries, it was in the match. Ziggler thinks he's got the edge on Reigns, trying to get him in a zigzag from behind. Reigns throws him off, does a spear, pins him 1, 2, 3. But now you further 3 things in this situation. 1, Reigns keeps going forward to Extreme Rules. Shane and Elias and McIntyre are very firm as a team, but also Kevin Owens is going to be messing up Shane's stuff all over the place. That's not going to end. So I like this overall.
I loved it. I thought the stunner moment, even though I complained about people using the stunner, when he ran in, it was a cool surprise. I wasn't expecting it. I liked the way they did that. And if they're going to go Owens versus the Authority, that's the smart direction to take.
Exactly.
It's 100% the direction
What would you think about a Kevin Owens pilgrimage to Stone Cold's Broken Skull Ranch to talk about this situation? For tips or hints or something like that, where they like have a meeting and there's like video.
It's got to be down the line.
Yeah, you think down after establish a little bit of that?
You got to establish that he is a Stone Cold like character.
So maybe the Authority is getting up on Kevin Owens and he needs some advice and goes to Stone Cold.
That's what I would think.
Yeah, that's great. You can take that from me. I want some credit. All right, that's the review for SmackDown Live. That's everything that happened there. We'll see. I wanted to go through the Extreme Rules card with...
Wait, no, I'm going to do that on Wrestling She Radio this week.
So can I give my thoughts then? Is that possible? All right, fine. I don't have to.
I mean... We can't. I mean, no, I got to get back to work. I'm going to do that. We're going to do a full rundown on Wrestling Sheet Radio this week on the same channel. So don't steal my content before I can do it.
All right, fine.
Because then I got a lot to talk about tomorrow.
All right, fine.
Sorry.
That's it. I guess if you want to hear my predictions, DM me. We can talk about it. Maybe I'll record a separate video with this in my background and say something. But either way, there it is. All right. Well, thanks everybody for watching this episode of SmackDown Live Recap. Always a blast to hear what you guys think, what you guys feel, good and bad, about our thoughts on the storylines and the characters here on the show. Ryan, tell them where they can read, listen, and watch everything we do.
ProWrestlingSheet.com. That's the website where you can find all the top stories in the world of professional wrestling throughout the week. At Wrestling Sheet on social media, youtube.com/c/Wrestling Sheet. That's where you can find all the videos that we do. Raw and SmackDown recaps, Wrestling Sheet Radio, any other stuff I put up there. So if you're there, I appreciate it. Thank you for already watching there, but make sure you subscribe as well. Subscribe, like the videos, comment. I check them all out. I read the comments. I'm involved. So please like, subscribe, all that kind of stuff. It helps me out a lot. But if you just want to listen while you're driving, go subscribe to our podcast feed. It's on Spotify, iTunes, Podcast One, all the major podcast platforms. Just search for Wrestling Sheet Radio.
There you go. That's all you need to know. Follow him at Ryan Satin. Follow me at The Rocha Says. And we will talk to you next week with more recaps of Raw and SmackDown. Don't forget Pro Wrestling Radio on...
Wrestling Sheet Radio.
Wrestling Sheet Radio on Thursday night. They'll do the predictions. And hopefully enjoy yourself this weekend watching that Extreme Rules pay-per-view. We'll talk to you soon.
ProWrestlingSheet.com